we'll start the day first spending a few minutes to make sure that our states of mind is in a positive, constructive states of mind, to participate in the activities such as meditation, listening to the talk, contemplation, and also if there are questions, ask questions, and recitation. As I suggested yesterday, it is extremely helpful, useful to start the event, the day, with a right, positive mind. Right, positive mind according to your own mental ability, according to your mental strength. That can be as simple as this, very clearly and very strongly thinking. Today I'm here at this place with a group of people to join the activities physically, verbally, and mentally. Purpose of participating in these activities is to enhance, to promote, and to further develop those helpful, useful, and beneficial mental states and the behavior. On the other hand, to reduce, to minimize those unhelpful, unhealthy, disturbing mental states and the behavior. By doing that, make this life have a more purpose, more meaning, more useful to myself and to others. And then people who are able to bring your mind into taking refuge to the Buddha as one's own spiritual teacher, to the Dharma, the teachings, as actual means, methods to be actualized, to be realized, and the Sangha as one's own spiritual friends. And going for refuge, the three jewels, until the cessation the cessation of suffering and the origin of suffering is experienced, is actualized within oneself and within all living beings. For that purpose, for that reason, I'm here to join the class. And some of you not only taking refuge in the three jewels, but also trying very hard to cultivate the bodhicitta, the altruistic awakened mind. For those people, then it will be extremely helpful. Try to bring that mind right here and now. That is, from your heart, have a strong yearning that wanting to give help and support to others. Others without any exception and any discrimination. Regardless of how they treat towards us from our side, strongly want to give help and support. And wanting to give help and support from the basic needs such as food, shelter, medicine, and friendship, to all the way up to give them help, support, make them to experience the fully awakened mind, make them to experience free from the difficulties and the causes of difficulties. Holding this positive and constructive states of mind as a motivation, as an intention to join the class. Now we will read the refuge and the bodhicitta lines together 3 times. Page
34.
Chanju Padu
With this positive and constructive states of mind as a motivation to join the class, now we will do a short silent meditation, and purpose of this meditation is very, very simple. It is just to bring your mind right here and now, at this place, with this body, and raise the awareness. Raise the awareness in the sense of your mind is fully alert and fully away to the present moment, without any judgment, any thought, any interpretation. Very simply, be fully away to the present moment. To experience that kind of mental state, it will be helpful if you briefly follow these 3 steps. The 3 steps are: first, to get a right, comfortable sitting posture. Right, comfortable in the sense of the body posture, which creates the right condition, the right atmosphere that your mind can rest and raise awareness. When you have found that kind of sitting posture, then the second step, to select an object that will be helpful. Objects such as your natural breathing, in order to your mind focus on, to raise the awareness. It can be simply your breathing, or it can be an image of Buddha. It is up to the individual what object you would like to select. When the selected object, chosen object, is very clear to your mind, then the third step, which is the actual meditation, is this. Very simply place your mind on that selected object. It can be your breathing, and be fully aware of the object, but free from conceptual thoughts such as investigation, analysis, interpretation, or judgment. Free from all these conceptual thoughts, very simply be fully aware of the chosen object and remain on that pure awareness. In that pure awareness, there are 2 mental qualities. The first, there is a stability. Stability in the sense of your mind is with the chosen object. And there is a second quality, there is a clarity. Clarity in the sense of your mind is not only with the chosen object, but your mind is fully aware of the chosen object. We'll do this meditation in about 15 minutes. slowly end the meditation. So today we will read the Heartsutra at the end of the class after we finish the explanation. So that's what I'll do. I will go straight to the explanation because we don't have that much time to go through. But just briefly, to try to connect your mind on this topic through the feeling or through the understanding of that such an important topic, such a very, very important topic taught by the Buddha, the historical Buddha Gautama, in order to not just those people at the Buddha's time, but also including myself, he taught this important subject, emptiness, shunyata, to understand this topic, not just pure intellectually, but to understand the topic in order to initially to ease the difficulties that I experiences. Mainly we are talking about the mental difficulties, the fears, concerns, the suspiciousness, and so on and so forth. Those mental difficulties to initially to ease, and eventually to completely to get rid of. On the other hand, to promote the understanding, promote the understanding or the deep feeling of altruism through the eliminating the egoistic mind, through the eliminating the self-centered mind by understanding the emptiness. And that is what I'm doing here, and that's what Buddha taught, and this important teaching. So try to connect yourself to the subject through why Buddha taught, and to whom the Buddha taught. Why Buddha taught, as I said just a few seconds ago, and to whom the Buddha taught, although explicitly at that time, those great bodhisattvas, monks and bodhisattvas, but implicitly to me, because I'm part of the subject of his great compassion. So also I'm also part of the audience that teaching he taught. So try to connect in that way might be helpful. And also, as I said briefly yesterday, when you read Heartsutra, such a very, very beautiful sutra, not very long, but captures a really, really important topic, emptiness, relation to from our basic what we have got right here and now, as we have looked at yesterday, the 5 aggregates, form, feeling, and so forth, to all the way up to our our goal of our aspiration, that is experiencing attainment, enlightenment, as we have seen yesterday in this paragraph that we read. Buddha started saying there's no form, no feeling, then end that paragraph saying there's no attainment and no non-attainment. So that paragraph captures from the basic day-to-day our feelings, our things and events, to all the way up to that, our goal or the aspiration that we want to experience. And the relation to or relation to the emptiness. And it's such a beautiful sutra. And as I suggested yesterday, when you read the sutra, not to read just starting to end. It will be good to read, create initially, before you're going to read, create an atmosphere that Buddha is present. As you know, yes, his physical body, the historical Buddha, his physical body is cremated after he passed away in Kushinagara in North India. But this long-term, the dedicated heart to all living beings, to all sentient beings, that deep sense of compassion or love to all living beings, and his great wisdom still carries on, although his physical body is cremated. And because these two, the two great mental qualities, deep compassion to all living beings, and great wisdom carries on, we can create, we can feel, we can create an atmosphere that historical Buddha is present in front of you before you read the sutra. And when you read the sutra, although yourself is reading, have a feeling of that Buddha is teaching you this sutra. And same time try to evoke or invite blessing and inspiration from the Buddha, you to understand the sutra, the meaning of the sutra, the emptiness, the shunyata, as the Buddha intended to teach, as Buddha wants to teach, and think you are receiving the blessings and inspiration. So that way it's very, very useful to learn, to study, to read the sutras. Okay. Now, what I want to do, I want to put together first, because our main focus was on this paragraph which starts saying Shariputra, therefore in emptiness there's no form, no feeling, no discrimination, then ends that paragraph saying no attainment and also no non-attainment. So that paragraph was yesterday's our main focus. So what I want to do today, first to summarize. Hopefully your mind is a little bit fresher than yesterday afternoon. After spending hours and hours listening, you may have exhausted yesterday evening. So what I like to do, I want to summarize what we have done yesterday. Yesterday we did not discuss that much. As the what you call the paragraph itself is teaching us. The paragraph itself is teaching us, saying no form, no feeling, no discrimination, isn't it? And carries on up to saying no non-attainment, no. Yesterday what we did mainly, yes. Instead of saying no, what we did is yes. What I mean yes, I mean we look at form. What is here as a form? We look at what is here as an aggregate. We look at what's here as a feeling. And that carries on the 18 dhatus or the 18 elements and so forth. That's what we did. Our main focus was what is here as a form, aggregates and feeling and so forth. And I said yesterday briefly that doing that, the purpose is hopefully when we see what is here as a form aggregate, then that understanding will lead us or help us to understand what is not here as a form, as a feeling. That is the other side of the coin. Other side of the coin, when we understand what is here as a form, as a feeling, as a discrimination from the 5 aggregates to all the way up to attainment that we want to attain. If we understand what is there as these things, that understanding will help us. What's not there as a form, as a feeling, all the way up to attainment. And what's not there is the meaning of this no form, no feeling, no discrimination. Now, do you remember yesterday I told you a brave English story? I said, I told you that and I didn't say anything. Now I need that. I need you to connect that story. Sherlock Holmes, isn't it? Sherlock Holmes is, this man or this person is was very famous. Still he is very famous. But in reality, he does not exist. But millions of people, I was told, believe he does exist, or he did exist. Very famous, blah, blah, blah. And they have many people, I was told, have a tremendous, sentimental towards the place where he lived, and the flat where he was brought up, and the object, his cigar, and all those things. So our mind is perfectly capable, perfectly possible, something which is not there, something which does not exist, but still very strongly, very, the emotionally, sentimentally, our mind can hold on, cling to that, saying, yes. And that is here, that is important. We need to know. When we look at yesterday, from the Buddhist, teachings point of view, what's here as a form, those, as we look at 4 great elements and the 5, derivative elements, so on and so forth, how this body is. And also, as briefly suggest you can look at this body from the modern, what's called the physics or biologist point of view. You can look at all those things. What we can see, what we can find from these analysis, we will see body, feeling, discrimination, and go all the way up to attainment as a label, the label on these multi collections, multi things come together, and on this togetherness, the label is given as a body, as a feeling, as a in attainment, enlightenment, so and so forth. And that is the conclusion you will get if you follow precisely, closely and detailedly. What that conclusion tells us, the other side of the coin, which this paragraph is the mainly teach us. Other side of the coin is there's no such as form. There's no such as form from its own right, from its own side. There is a form which is labeled on, which is named on this multi, genes or whatever the term you use, all these building blocks of the body, on this functioning multi things, the label, the form is given, therefore form exists. The existence, how does form exist? Form exists in that way, in that fashion, but form does not exist in a fashion, in a form, in a fashion or in a way from its own right, from its own side, or yesterday I used the term substantially. Form does not exist in that fashion, in that manner, and because of that, the term here Buddha used, no form. No form in that sense, in that fashion, in that manner, and that understanding must be taken all the way up to, from the body to all the way up to the goals for the people who follow the Buddha Dharma, the goal to attain liberation or enlightenment. Enlightenment or liberation does exist, but it exists through the many different causes and conditions put together, and when that result, through that causes and condition, when the result is ripened, then the label enlightenment is given. So enlightenment also exists in that fashion, in that manner, not from its own right, not from its own side, and not substantially. Not substantially. So that is the the meaning of or the main meaning of this paragraph. Okay. Got it? Or confused? Anyway, as you know, it takes time. It takes time. It took me ages, some of the just simple English terms to understand. Not just to understand, to me to feel. Just ordinary English terms, words. When I was learning, still I'm learning, still I have at least one class a week. My teacher comes to teach me, and still I'm learning. So some of the words, took long time me to first to understand, just simple words, then to feel the meaning of that words. If that is the case, this kind of profound teachings, it will take time. First of all, as I said yesterday or day before yesterday, I can't remember, Buddhism is alien teachings for you. When I first came to UK after moving from France, so to sorting out the papers, and those days, these days, some of English people feel very embarrassing when I'm talking about this. So today there's no English people, so it would be safe to say this. So those days, to get the yearly visa, I have to get a visa for every year. And to get the visa, first, before you're going to go to the visa office, first you have to go to an office in central London near Holborn Station. There was an office called Alien Office. I'm not joking. I'm not joking at all. So first you have to go to that office. From that office, they will stamp on your resident card saying, yes, you have, you have done quite well so far. You haven't broken any rules. Then take with that, then your traveling document, then go to the visa department, then they will give you visa. So, for the Westerner, I'm alien. For you, Buddhism is alien. So therefore, it will take time. It will take time. But digest. As I suggest, this paragraph is not that long. This paragraph itself is not long, and it is not that difficult to memorize. Just this paragraph itself. Memorize that. First memorize just the first list. No form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compensational factor, and no consciousness. Say it to yourself. Listen it. Say it by yourself, listen it, think them. Through that way, things will slowly sink in. It will not, go into your heart level, just listening once a year, or just reading once a month, blah, 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 then finished, closed. It will not work in that way. It will take time. And it is again, take time, not I'm talking about, those animals, what you call, hibernites, sleeping during the winter, and coming. I'm not saying it will take time in that way. It will take time in the sense of you need to repeat again, again, again. You know that through that repetition, then while you're repeating, every now and then your mind clicking, to this, like a knocking the door. Every now and then you need to knock that door, the door of the emptiness. That way it will make sense. Slowly you will feel it. Then there will be feeling, not just the words, not just the concept, not just the theory, there will be feeling. And as I said, it is like that. To get the feeling takes long time. As I said, very simple, ordinary words, concept, to get feelings long time. This is, for some of the minor teachings said, countless 3 eons job. So, big thing. Anyway, yeah. Now, before we move to next paragraph, because I want to reverse back to the, these 2 paragraphs which are said little bit extensive teachings on emptiness. Just 2 paragraphs before that paragraph which we just read. The 2 paragraphs, these are in English 2 short paragraphs. The paragraph which starts saying, form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form, form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, conversational factors, and consciousness are empty. So I want to talk on that paragraph briefly, because we haven't talked on that paragraph. So I want to talk on that paragraph. Particularly, these first 2 saying, form is empty, emptiness is form, the one. Emptiness is not other than form, form is also not other than emptiness, 2. I want to say a little bit on on these 2 lines. Now, form is empty. We almost look at that. We almost have discussed on that subject. Form is empty. As I said just a few minutes ago, form is empty in the sense of empty, in the sense of form does not exist. Form does not exist. Does not exist. My English is not right. It might be that. Form does not exist. Form does not exist from its own right, from its own side. Therefore, this term, this meaning, form is empty. Empty, absence, whatever term you use. Form is empty in that sense. Now the difficulty is other one, the next one. Emptiness is form. So that we need to look at a little bit. Here it says, form is empty, and emptiness is form. So this one, what does that mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? Emptiness is form. Emptiness is form. So the emptiness is form is, the meaning of this statement is this. Emptiness is form in the sense of, here you need to pay attention. Here you need to pay attention. Emptiness is form in the sense of that form which is absence of or empty of existing from its own side, from its own right, or form which is absence or empty of substantial entity, that when I say emptiness is form, that nature, that entity, that reality is no other than form. When I say emptiness is form. Emptiness is form is not saying this statement. And when I say emptiness is form, it is not saying emptiness has shape, color, smell, taste, tactile, like that. When I say emptiness is form. Usually if you say this is form, then it must have either shape, color, so on and so forth, isn't it? If you say this is human being, then must have human beings, features, figures, and so on and so forth, isn't it? If you say this is table, it must function as a table. But this statement, when it says emptiness is form, should not be taken literally like that. When I say emptiness is form. The meaning is this. When I say emptiness is form, the meaning is the form, any kind of form. My body, your body, this, any kind of form. Form, which, any kind of form, as the form which is absence, which is empty of substantial reality, empty of substantial reality, which is emptiness, cannot be separated from the form. Okay, I'll repeat again. Repeat again. What kind of example can be good? Okay, I'll repeat again, then we'll see if I find an example. Now, emptiness is form. Now, the meaning of this statement is this. Emptiness is form in the sense of the form which is absence or empty of substantial entity, or empty of from its own right as a form, empty of exist independently as a form. That absence which is emptiness, cannot be. That absence which is emptiness cannot be separated. Cannot be separated from the form. From the form. Yeah, maybe you can look at the next one. Then this may be next statement. It says, emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. So this second statement is, in certain extent, the little bit elaboration from the first statement. In the first statement, it says form is empty, emptiness is form. In the second statement, form is not, emptiness is not other than form. Emptiness is not other than form, therefore emptiness is form. I'll repeat again. Yeah. Emptiness is not other than form, therefore emptiness is form. So when you say emptiness is not other than form, the meaning is this. Emptiness is not other than form, the meaning is again same, as I said earlier, is same like this. Emptiness is not other than form, the meaning is the form the form which is absence, empty all, the substantial entity. Substantial entity, the form which is empty of substantial entity, which is, that empty is the emptiness. That emptiness cannot be, the English word, this time I will use this one, you may not get it, but I will use it. Cannot be, that emptiness cannot be posit. Posit, if I say posit, I will posit this glasses case on the table, means posit, that is what is called English word. Anyway, I'm using that because that is the word which corresponds with the Tibetan term shakpa. Shakpa literally it means lay, key, posit. These are the same word, same meaning. Now, I'll repeat this. Form is, the emptiness is not other than form. Emptiness is not other than form. That statement is elaboration statement from the previous one. The previous one is this: emptiness is form. That's the short one, isn't it? Emptiness is form. That's the previous statement. That statement, if you elaborate it a little bit, then what Buddha says is this: emptiness is not other than form. Now, what is the meaning of that? Emptiness is not other than form. Does it mean emptiness is form? Emptiness has shapes and colors, so on and so forth. No. The meaning, when I say emptiness is not other than form, the meaning is the form, now come back to the form which is empty of substantial entity, empty of, exist from its own right. That entity, that absent cannot be posit, cannot be, in other words, cannot be separated from the form. Take it this example. Yesterday we briefly looked at HO2. HO2 or HQ2, that water. H2O. H2O, is it? That what's called mechanism, not mechanism, that property. That property, H2O, is it O2 or 2O? Anyway, yeah, cannot be separated from water. If you separate it from the water, that thing cannot be water, isn't it? Like that. I'm not saying exactly the same, but has that sort of connotation. When I say emptiness is not other than form, what it's talking about here is this: the form. Now come back to the form which is absence or empty of substantial reality. That empty of substantial reality cannot be separated from the form. If you start to separate it from the form, what's going to happen? It's going to happen nihilism. Going to happen, there's nothing left there. Okay? Now, then a little bit. The next statement is: form is also not other than emptiness. Form is also not other than emptiness. And this one is little bit elaboration from the first statement, saying form is empty. This form is empty. The form is empty. If that Buddha little bit elaborate on that statement, then here what he said is form is also not other than emptiness. Now, form is also not other than emptiness. What is the meaning of this statement? Is this. The meaning of this statement is this. Form. The form that we, our body or any kind of form cannot exist. Cannot exist. Not being. Cannot exist. Not being empty. Empty of substantial entity. Do you get it? Form, any kind of form, cannot be existed. Cannot be existed, not being empty of inherent existence. If that happened, the problem is eternalism. If that happened, if there was a form which exists, not being empty, then the problem is eternalism. So these two statements, form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than a form, form is also not other than emptiness. These two statements help us to understand form as it is, form as it is in the sense of free from eternalism, free from nihilism. Okay? Yeah, then I will let you go to have a cup of tea. You've been very kind. Okay, we'll stop here. What we'll do, we'll just take 10 minutes.